You are leading the victim compensation plan for the General Motors recall crisis. First question to you, tell me what you have found so far as you've been reviewing cases and evidence. I know the claims don't come in until August 1st, but you've been looking at some of these more high-profile cases.
One of the problems is the age of these accidents. Unlike 9/11 or BP, where you're evaluating claims weeks or months after the tragedy. Here, some of these accidents occurred over a decade ago. Reconstructing the accident, finding the documentation needed to link the ignition switch defect with the accident is very difficult. Now, we'll do it, but it's going to take some time.
But if there will be evidence that you can't find because of how old this is, and frankly, many of these victims, their families might not have known they had a case until they knew about this recall. Does that mean that you are giving them, in some cases, the benefit of the doubt, a benefit they might not get in the courtroom?
Yes. Yes, we will work with those families, even if the car is gone, even if there's no black box data from the engine. What about a police report at the time? What about insurance report made at the time of the accident? What about photographs? We have found that photographs of the accident showing a front-end collision with no airbag deployment, highly circumstantial of ignition switch defect failure.
There are a number of cars, GM cars, that have been recalled because of defective ignition switches that are not included in the compensation plan. And that has some of the people, victims in those accidents, their families, very upset. Should those cars be included in the compensation plan to at least be considered by you if they deserve to be compensated?
That's a question you should ask General Motors. I can only design and administer a program where my jurisdiction has been established by GM or previously by BP or previously by Congress with 9/11.
Your expertise, would you recommend to GM that they include those cars in the program so that you can at least look at them?
I don't have that expertise. I'm not an automotive engineer. I can't determine which automobiles is the ignition switch more likely to fail than other automobiles. And also, remember, it is these automobiles in this program that gave rise to this entire investigation and these allegations that GM didn't pay attention. As I understand it, now GM is paying attention. So what vehicles should be included in this protocol, I leave to others. Whatever they decide, General Motors or the Congress, whatever they decide are eligible vehicles, those are the vehicles I'll consider.
If victims, if their families decide to go along with the compensation plan and take the money that you deem that they deserve from GM, they give up entirely their right to sue General Motors. Some families have told us they're not going to do that. They want their day in court. What have you been hearing? Do you sense that the majority of those with cases are going to try the compensation plan or no?
That's entirely, as you know, up to each claimant. This program is entirely voluntary.
But what have you heard so far?
What I've heard so far is the great majority of these claimants will at least come into this program and see exactly what they will receive in the way of compensation under this program before they decide whether or not to elect to give up their right to sue or stay in the program.
Punitive damages are not included in this victim compensation program. So if a victim or their family takes money from GM through your program, they also give up their right to sue GM for punitive damages, correct?
That is absolutely correct, and they have to make that decision.
Is that right?
Of course it's right. This program is designed not to punish GM with punitive damages. This program, as you know, is designed to provide 100% compensation to the victim. Now, if the victim's family or the victim, him or herself, feel, I want to also seek additional money to punish GM, that's not part of this program. That's a litigation. If you want your own compensation in full, come into this program. If you want to punish GM or seek punitive damages, opt out and go the litigation route.